Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is part four of I did those three videos prior to this one's part four of life, loss, and creativity. And just a quick reminder, I talked a little bit to you guys about some things that had happened to me. So as far as life, I'm still dealing with, you guys know I survived stomach cancer. And those of you who are new to my channel, if you don't know that, yes, over the last year I'm in remission and I'm still dealing with something that they call chemo brain fog. And what that is basically it's a cognitive impairment. And if you see me, I have to keep a notepad, and what happens to me, it causes me problems with thinking and remembering. I've become super forgetful. So it happens before, during, and after chemo. And I talked to you guys in the last video about the loss of my dear mom. We call her Mima. Yeah, may her soul rest in peace. And yeah, and not just the loss of my mother, as a cancer survivor, we patients, we lose what they have will call it quality of life. So I'm dealing with the issue of the nerve damage, the neuropathy in my fingers and my toes. But here I am. So what happens with me, I do a lot of, if you will see me touch the palms, my fingers. Sometimes I have to wear gloves, but I'm beyond that. But now what is so therapeutic for me is my creative side. I love all things about arts and crafts, and I'm not that great of a painter, but I do love to paint. I consider myself a good singer. I don't think I'm the best, but I think I'm doing pretty well. I've joined my church choir. So being creative helps me with my emotions. So yeah, and so here we are. And today I'm going to finish that the gnome t-shirts. Remember I told you. So over the next few days I'll be doing a lot of Christmas themed themed things as well. I went to the dollar store and bought these stockings, these little bags, I guess you call these stockings. Yeah. So I'm gonna put our names on them and cut some other things on my Cricut in the Cricut design space and decorate those. So I'll be doing those. And I got a few other projects that I'm working on as well while I'm doing this. But yeah, tonight I'm going to grind out those gnomes. We're going to do the direct to film, the transfer powder. So you're going to need several things for this project. And I have this in my I told you in the last video, my border collie and Cocker Spaniel Shelby, she right here looking at me. I'm on my laptop today. Most times I'm working for myself. This DTF powder right here is called Yamation. I ordered it off of Amazon. I'll put this in the description box below. And I continue to do this process because I really want to perfect it. There's another powder that I use as well. We're not going to use this one tonight. So it's going to be the Yalmation one. And then you're going to need these direct to film, the transfers. They're by Yalmation as well. And I ordered them on YouTube. I'll put all these in the description box below. So you have to be careful because this is the print side and it'll have it on there. It'll say print. Can you see that? Okay. So you have to be careful with this. This is the print side, meaning this is the part you're going to feed into your printer. And when you're using this process, you just use your inkjet. I have the inkjet Pro version. So yeah, I'll show you this process in just a second, okay? All right. And I'm going to pause for a second and I'll come back when I'm going to get the machine ready for the cut. I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second. I wanted to show you guys this. When you're thinking about the direct to, I mean, DTF transfer film, you see this side is shiny. You want to be sure you don't feed your printer this side. You want the printed side, this side, which is, it's a matted finish. Now, I usually, during this time, I will tape, because the film is so thin, I will tape it to a piece of printer paper so that when it goes through, it doesn't shift. I want it to stay put in one place. So you just put a small piece of tape just like that, and then you're gonna feed it into your printer. And I'll show you, I'll turn the camera around and show you how to do that. When you're feeding your transfer paper, you want to put it in your printer. And this is, again, I said this is a Pro, HP OfficeJet Pro 7740 series. You put it inside the matte portion of it down. And I'm gonna get ready to send it to my printer. I showed you how to load the paper in the printer. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to go to, I'm sharing my screen with you, of course. We're going back to the Cricut design space. We're going to pull up our projects. And there's my project I was last working on. And remember, again, I'm just doing a silhouette for this portion of it. And I wait till the image load, and I'm going to send it to the printer. Now, I mean to the cutter. No, I'm sorry. Correction. In the last video, I cut it. Now I'm going to send the image itself to the printer. I want to cancel because I've already cut. I want to customize this. Now remember, this is just the silhouette. So I'm going to hide this one, and let me just leave it out for measurement's sake. And I'm going to upload the image again, not the silhouette. We want to see the image this time, because now we're going to put it on the film. Yes, guys. Okay, you know I'm always talking when I'm on here. How's everything going? Let me know in the comment. Hope everybody's having a happy Tuesday. Let me go to my documents. These weeks are getting by us quick too, as well. Today was a kind of slow motion day for me. It was I was a bit tired, to be honest, but so I came home and napped, and that served me well, because when I got up, I felt rejuvenated. So there's my image. I'm going to upload the image. And by the way, I did find it on Etsy, and I did put it in the description box in the last video below. And I'll put the materials I'm using as well. So I want to apply at the bottom on the Cricut design space. You want to apply and continue. Now, because this is a print then cut project, I'm going to use a flat graphic. Hit continue and upload to the canvas. All right. Now, most important, this image, your silhouette image, is 9.5 by 5.48 inches. I'm going to do the same for the image itself, the colorful part of it. Okay, 9.5 in width, 9.5. Then I move over to height, and it changes it to 5.8. So it should match up evenly. When I'm having a difficult time matching them up, I will change the silhouette background so it'll show up more, and I can get a better idea. Yep, and it fits perfect. I'm going to select and align at the top of the Cricut design space. You'll see the align button. You hit that button. You can align it center horizontally. You can hit the align button as well, center it vertically, and it's a good fit. Now, you notice this yellow triangle? It's telling me that the image is low resolution. It says this image will print poorly. I'm gonna bypass that part because I'm not going to really concern myself with that, because I've used this image last year and it printed pretty well. So I'm gonna hide this silhouette, select this one, make sure everything is all good, and I want to hit make. Now it's time to talk to the printer. And very important, in the Cricut design space, you see these lines around. These are registration marks. It's just giving, it's telling you where to place your image on the cutting mat. Well, Cricut is going to think that I want to cut it. I don't want to cut it. And this part of the process, do not mirror. The silhouette we mirror because we need to mirror, because that's just vinyl. In this case, you don't. When it comes from the printer, it's going to be wet ink, and that's where you're going to put your DTF pattern on top of that. So do not mirror this portion. Hit continue. And I want to send to printer. It says sensor marks are added. Hit next. Now, in this part, it says there's no printer. So you have to find your printer from the drop down, this Office, the Pro. I want to turn the bleed off. You want to use the system dialog, and it's going to give you more options. The reason that happens is it's going to allow you to select the quality, like paper preference and things like that. So I'm going to hit preference. It's going to open up another box, and I'm going to hit paper quality. Now, you notice it says portrait. In this case, I don't want to print portrait. I want to print landscape. Hit paper quality. And what stationery? And you know what I select photo paper. Quality settings, I select best. It's already highlighted for color. Click OK, and we are ready to print. Verify print quality. Okay, done. It's printing now. I want to show you what it looks like when it comes out. Are you guys working on any projects? Let me know what you're working on. I know these kids they're ready for the holidays. Maybe I hope the light is not too bright for you, and you'll see that it is, there we go. Now, you want to move quickly during this time. The reason for that is because that ink will dry, and you don't want it to dry too fast before you apply. And do not touch it because it will smear. So during this process, I just take a little bit of the Dalmatian. Remember I was telling you about that? Oh, sorry, you can't see that. The Dalmatian DTF powder adhesive. And you really don't need that much. I've had this bag for a while. You just dust it on top like that. Lift it up. Let the powder fall off, and we'll use the same powder and do it again. So now the next step is you're going to cure. You're going to cure this powder, and it's going to become like almost like a, not a gum, but yeah, it's hard for me to explain it. See how I'm dusting it on top like this? You want to get it covered very well. And be sure not to touch the image. You don't want it to smear. Oh, and one other thing, guys, I forgot to tell you all. Can you see that? I use my heat press. You want to turn your heat press on for, the temperature should be about between 280 degrees Fahrenheit or 320. Don't go past that because you don't want to burn it. Let me see if I can change the angle of my camera. Lift it up just a little bit. Okay, now I want to show you the texture. You see how it looks like it's gonna be like a rubber gum type texture. All right, so now it's time to cure. So I'll take you over to the heat press. And what I do during this time, I let it sit underneath the heat press for about 3 minutes. Okay, all right. And then you're gonna hover over it just like this for about 3 minutes. I'm not going to stand here and record this entire portion. I'll come back and show you what it looks like after it's cured, the film. Okay, I'll be back. Hang in there with me. Thank you, guys. Because we're in the business of being resourceful, be sure to put the unused powder back in there. And you notice I'm using a large pan. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can catch the powder in almost anything. So, oops, making all that noise. Yeah, we want to be resourceful, so we put it back. And if it's not cured enough using the heat press, I use that heat gun that's right there that's in front of you. I got this one from Home Depot. It's a Wagner product. It's a heat gun. It's pretty inexpensive. I think it was less than 30 bucks. So we're gonna use that if it doesn't cure all the way from the heat press. While we're waiting for the image to cure, it'll take about 3 minutes. Because there's a lot of detail on that one, it may take a little bit longer. In the meantime, I'm going to tweed the silhouette. Okay, you want to take off the parts that you don't need. We're going to remove the parts that we don't need. Put those in the trash. There we go. And this light is very helpful because it's allowing me to see the parts that I need to remove, the parts of the vinyl that need to be removed. And you have to take a good look at it also. So we'll get that tweeded and we'll come back and we'll be ready to place it on the shirt. Okay, I've gotten the silhouette tweeted, and this is what it looks like. And now let's go back to our heat press. Now you see it's not quite cured the way I would want it to be. So this is where my hot, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. This is where the heat gun comes into. It's gonna be helpful for me. Let me put my camera down so you can see it. Uh-oh, sorry guys. I'll put it in a position where you can take a good look at it. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So, if you're gonna use a heat gun, please be careful. Don't put it too close to the image because something will happen. You will burn it and it's not going to be helpful, and you don't want to have put in all of that work for nothing. So I have my fingers crossed. I always have my fingers crossed when I do the DTL because each time it's a new revelation for me. And that's why I continue to do this. I've seen it done by so many guys on YouTube, and everybody that have done this technique. It's come out pretty good. I'm sorry I don't remember any of the YouTubers' names right off. I will give them a shout out. But yeah, this is really all it is to it. And once you get comfortable with this technique, it becomes like second nature. You can do it with your eyes closed. So what I'm doing now is making sure that all of the powder is cured before we apply it. Always before applying any image, you want to take and heat press out the moisture before you add the image. So we're gonna remove the moisture. I've removed the moisture from my t-shirt, from the garment. Now I use this old school measuring tape to get about 3.5 inches down. But shout out to Gary on T-shirt Help Desk. I mean, this guy had one of the coolest tools. I need to go back to that video I saw and order me one. So shout out to Gary. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. Put some butter on my shoes and slide up out of here, as he says. So I'm going to put it 3.5 inches from the neckline. Because this is a scoop, I don't want it to be too far down my chest. So I'm going to move it up to about 2.5. I don't want it to be too far down my chest. So we're going to center it just like that. And you use your better judgment on how you think it's centered up. What helps me, I will fold it like this. Just get a crease in the middle. That way I know. And I fold like a taco. I fold the shirt like a taco. That's what I used to tell the kids when I was a teacher in the classroom. We would do a project and have to make a foldable. I'd make them do it themselves. You'd have to fold it like a taco, I'd tell them. And they would laugh. Yeah, that's fun, but you're learning while you're laughing, okay? So we're gonna get this on, press it for 10 seconds, and then come back and apply the transfer. The silhouette is pressed on the t-shirt. And I got this t-shirt from Walmart also. It's long sleeve. And I've actually had this t-shirt for a while, so I didn't even have to buy a red one. But I did buy new pajama bottoms, so I thought that was pretty cool because my son and I are we're going to be twinsies. We're going to match. So remember, cool peel only. And 10 seconds, the silhouette, only 10 seconds. Because you're going to be pressing it again as well, so you don't want to overheat it or press it too much. and ruin it. That feels pretty cool. And be careful when you're removing the carrier sheet. Hold the vinyl down on the shirt in place. And peel off slowly. Making sure you're taking your time removing the top carrier sheet. We're going to be hanging with the gnomies for Christmas. Those are my themes for the holidays, the gnomes. So now, let's apply the transfer itself. What did I do with the transfer? Okay, here it is. And guess what? Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. I made a mistake. I printed on the wrong side. So this is what it's going to look like, just like this. So I'm going to have to reprint this again, and I'll attach it to the video. I was supposed to flip it. My goodness. Okay, it's all right. We're human. We're learning. So I actually ruined one good, but it's going to turn out amazing. I'll show you that part. All right. That is one of the mistakes that I have continued to make when doing this technique. That's why I will continue to do the technique until I feel like I'm really facile at it. Like I'm very, very, very comfortable. So in this case, we're going back to share the screen with you guys, and you have to mirror. Okay? We did that. Did we mirror? Let me make sure. Okay, yes, I saw the move. All right. Now we're going to send it back to the printer again. Now the machine thinks, okay, I've already printed, so I want to select send to printer again. Send to printer. Sensor marks are added. Be sure to find your printer. It pops up. Turn off bleed again. Use the system dialog. It's going to prompt you with more preferences. I'm going to choose paper quality and photo paper. Quality settings is best again, and click OK. And we are ready to send it to print. I am so glad I caught that. Now my image is the correct way, and it is time to apply. This is what it looks like once it's cured completely. Oops, and you see this area right here, that's going to be a problem. So I want to go back with my heat gun and cure that some more, and even the bell here. So I'm going to bring out my heat gun and do that a little bit more. I want to melt it a little more. Yeah, there we go. And then it becomes like small little bubbles. That's the adhesive setting in. It's cured. I always add my Teflon pillow under each garment before. It helps it press well, and it keeps it from getting lines from the neck. There we go. My Teflon pillow's on there. We're going to apply it just on top like this, on top of the silhouette. Make sure we get it lined up correctly, just like that. Just take your time and get it all even up. being careful, and we're going to carry this over to the heat press, and we're going to press it 20 seconds first. We'll press it 20 seconds. And if that's not enough, if that's not long enough, then we'll press it some more. And remember, before you remove the image from the silhouette, it has to be completely cold, a cool peel. Don't peel it off warm or you'll bring up the image. You'll take off some of the image when you do that. This shirt is very soft, so it's moving. Okay, we're gonna come back in just a second. And this is what it looked like when it's lined up, okay? You'll need a piece of parchment paper. I got this from the Dollar Tree. Take off large enough to cover the image. It's just Dollar Tree parchment paper, and we're gonna go back over here to our heat press, and we're going to press it at 322 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, get it covered up. All right, give it a good press. I've had this heat press for a minute. It's Tootsie. It's very dependable. And let's see, we're counting down. Oh, okay. Lift it up. Cool peel only. And I usually don't even take off this parchment paper, but I'll remove it. This is what it looks like. Let's take it off the heat press and bring it over here. And I'm sorry I'm moving the camera so much. I didn't use my stand today. I have my handheld device. You see it? Let's get the camera. Can you see the light? I mean, you see how it is? Nice, rich, vibrant color. And this is the DTF transfer powder, the Yalmation brand. Both the film itself and the powder. Sorry, I got it off a little bit, but that's okay. This is for me. And I'm going to put across here, I'm going to put Merry Christmas. And under here, I'm going to put Hanging with the Gnomies. And I'm going to use probably navy glitter vinyl. We'll see. I'll be a bit creative. And I won't record that part of it. I'll just come back and show you the finished product, the picture of my son and I. I want you to see me how it is when we take it off. Let me set my camera up. Sorry. I got wobbly hands, guys. Did you guys have a great day today? I surely hope so. My day was pretty fantastic. It's still kind of warm. I don't want to peel it off until it is completely cold. No traces of heat anywhere. I don't want to run the risk of my image coming right off with the carrier sheet. Is your family coming over for the holidays? This is when family get together a lot of times. Okay, I think it might be ready. Let's try it. Let's try, guys. We're gonna see. Ooh, we're excited. It's the move. No, it's not ready yet. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not going to do it, guys. I have to wait. I thought it was peeling up. I'm excited. Wow. Now, one thing I want to point out about this, yay, and it looks beautiful. I absolutely love it. It is amazing. Isn't that wonderful? So we use the vinyl. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to tell you about this. I usually wait at least 2 or 3 days before I give it a wash. And I never dry my my shirts until I've worn them and I don't care about them anymore. If I want to keep it very rich in color like this, I will wash it. Cold water. I don't put any fabric softener in there because what happens, that fabric softener breaks down the material and it fades too quick and it starts to peel up. So I just either hang dry it or flat, just dry it flat. And this is what it looks like. I'll come back at the end of the video, guys, and show you what the finished product with the text added and a picture of moi wearing it. Thank you guys for hanging in there.